Good afternoon, Your Excellency Chairman Dino Gelai, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first thank the foreign policy community of Indonesia for inviting me to speak to this event. This is a highlight moment for ASEAN, with the ASEAN Summit, the G20 Summit, and the APEC Economic Leaders Meeting coming soon. By hosting these events, ASEAN will be able to demonstrate to the world its strong will and capability to unite the region and provide new impetus for the post-pandemic recovery. In China, the Communist Party has just concluded its 20th National Congress, and its report emphasized that China is committed to the policy of opening to the outside world and pursuing mutually beneficial partnership. China's growth will create new opportunities to the open global economy that delivers benefit to the people in the world. While the world is witnessing tough challenges, Indonesia and other ASEAN countries have set a positive tone with such key messages as addressing challenges and recover together, open and inclusive development. Now, let me turn to the topic of today's town hall, which is about geopolitics. We've started to sense the return of the logic of geopolitics as security confrontation and military conflict are arising in front of our eyes. During the early stage of industrialization, countries fought for controlling geographic space and access to key resources. The logic of geopolitics offered the theoretical foundation for expansionism. Since territories and resources were limited, expansionism inevitably ran into fights for sphere of influence and zero-sum competition, which even led to wars, hot and cold. The post-Cold War period had witnessed unprecedented long peace and prosperity in most parts of the world, and international politics were no longer dominated by geopolitics. And instead, they were reshaped by economic globalization. Countries have grown highly interdependent, and transnational cooperation and economic integration have expanded without serious hindrance. The so-called center-periphery concept faded into the past. This has been the kind of environment in which China has grown from poverty. There is no reason to doubt that other countries like India, Indonesia, Vietnam, and many others may catch up should the economic globalization continue. In recent years, the concept of geopolitics has again become a frequently used term describing some of the international behaviors. Europe, for example, is seen as engulfed in a severe geopolitical conflict caused by, to a large extent, a geosecurity collision between Russia and US-led NATO. The Asia-Pacific region is also at the risk of returning to the front line of geopolitical conflict as the US is provoking strategic competition with China. I have good reason to believe that the majority countries in Asia want to see the momentum of peace and prosperity continue. They prefer not to be forced to pick sides, much less to allow the regional agenda be shifted from economic issues to military and security concerns. Then, what's our way out? Could we move beyond the geopolitical thinking and keep on building common prosperity? Or would we retrogress to geopolitical fight, terminating globalization amidst increasing threat of conflict and power rivalry, which have been proven tragic by history? Asia-Pacific will probably be the first to make this choice at this major crossroad, which the rest of the world is approaching to. Many of you who know the recent history of the region are aware that the success of Asia lies in its commitment to cooperation for common economic benefit while taking the security concerns to the negotiating table instead of resorting to confrontation. Countries have nurtured the sense of common security, and a network of meticulously intertwined dialogues have been developed here, including those on political and security coordination and on functional cooperation. We can call it an open regionalism around ASEAN centrality. Indeed, the Asian way of dealing with differences offers a valuable experience for the world. Here, let me pay tribute to Mr. Hassim Jalal, the senior Jalal, who played an important role by initiating the workshop of managing potential conflicts in South China Sea, to which I have attended many times. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the signing of DOC, and as far as I know, the COC is under the second round of tax review. China's full participation in the regional affairs began simultaneously with its own reform and opening up drive. There is a sincere hope among the Chinese people to see united effort to explore the ways and means to counter the new challenges. So, to conclude, we should move beyond the narrow geopolitical thinking and cope with the external uncertainty with regional unity and promote global recovery with high-quality development and high-level cooperation. Thank you.